Hello, comrades, and welcome back to Revergrad. For those of you who have been paying close attention to the series, I just wanted to point something out that I happened to notice. This little path that we finished the other day is quite a popular path. So, unfortunately, it was probably causing quite a few issues for people in the sense that they take extra long to get to the shopping center there, and because of that, they end up not getting as many joy moments in their lives and probably becoming less efficient. But if we could make this like one of those, what do they call them? The conveyors that move you along. It's not an escalator, but it's, like the people mover, conveyors. We probably should, but in any event. All right. I did notice that we didn't finish the crossover here. So that means I had to change all of my railroad signals back to two-way signals. In the last episode, we parked our gravel train. I've gotten quite a few comments about the signaling, and I can understand why. And all I can ask you guys is be patient. I didn't put in more signals because I have one train. So even though I plopped a few along here, I just sort of did it with the idea that I might have two trains. The chances of them getting too jammed up on this on a double track are pretty slim. Obviously, one day I hope have 20 trains, and then by then we'll have signals, galore because, hey, they're free. Which hopefully, I actually do hope they add some cost to the signals. I know that would be very frustrating in some ways, but maybe it could be a setting in your difficulty level or something like that. But in any event, I want to put the reason I ended up figuring out that I missed this was because I realized when I went to assign this construction that it wouldn't connect. So I said, well, wait a minute, I have a loop down here where they could, it's a little bit cumbersome, but they can drive all the way around and they can come down here and they can loop around. Then I realized, well, wait a minute. No, if it's one way and they're coming in on the right-hand side, they can't get over to the loop. And then I, just being the diligent checker of things at that moment, I said, well, wait a minute. They can't get back. If they come around here, then they can't get back on the one-way back out. So I realized, well, wait a minute. I had this crossing here, which we would need anyway to efficiently get two trains in and out of here. So, and I don't know that we need that, but at least, this is a good place for another crossing. Just like, I think anytime you have 2 or 3 train loops like that, the ability to have 2 trains coming in and out won't hurt you. So, the other thing to say is, a lot of this keeping it all two-way is avoiding, if I put a crossing in different places, we could put a crossing up here, say, and then another crossing down, at some point where it makes sense. Maybe we put a crossing here. I realize that the trains could then get in and out. However, I don't want to build too much stuff just for the sake of the construction. If it really makes a lot of sense, like, I could definitely see an argument for doing this. Now, we're going to run into a spot here where it's going to be just one rail crane can work on this, but we'll see. Once he gets to a certain point, then we can switch it to 2, put some signaling up. Now, I bought another rail crane. Let's go see if we can find it. He should be along this track, and it is the slowest train in the world. And I'm not sure, I don't even know that I'm going to keep this train, but I think it's been it's not been 45 minutes, but it's been a long time since he headed all the way down here. And if I could have a choice to say, no, don't send the slow one so far away. Now, I'm hoping he carries a lot more stuff, which is fine, except he really doesn't need that much stuff to finish up this little track. So, I think it was just a waste of money. Now, I can sell them, but I just thought I would share this with you and expect that he will irritate me at some point, or she, however you look at it. And, she will be gone and she will be sold, I think. So, for now, it's a bit of an experiment with it, I guess. So what else has been going on? Not too much, other than let's stay down in Revergrad for one more minute and say that we now have plenty of steel. We haven't had any gravel coming in, but we have a ton. This is one of the reasons I cut off the gravel train, just because I realized we're just not going to need much gravel, particularly there. So these guys are back to doing nothing, and our radio station, which was actually going to be when I came back from an episode, or to an episode, can now get worked on again, I think, rather than having those guys sitting around doing nothing. And speaking of sitting around doing nothing, we have a construction crew here that looks like it's sort of more set up for doing paving with the bulldozer and the asphalt roller and whatnot. So I think I want to take the asphalt paver, roller, and, well, we'll leave the bulldozer in there just for leveling purposes, and you'll see why in a second. But I want to take these guys out of here. There we go. Send them over there. Now, what did we have in here? We have 2 dumpers already, 3 dumpers. Yeah, we kind of have the minimum, but we don't have another bus. And I don't think I have any sitting around buses, but you know what I may do is let's tear this, oops, even though it's probably not the most efficient. Let's look in this depot. What do we have here? That's a dumper. Yeah, we got a bunch of extra dumpers that we could think of selling off. But how many buses do we have in here? We have 2 buses. So I want to take this bus out. We don't have concrete mixer. Well, we have 1. And I think I have a concrete mixer or 2 sitting around someplace. These guys are still building, aren't they? Yeah, never mind. They're building the Gulag warehouse right now, so I'm going to leave them alone. And let's just go down to the one other depot that we have. Yeah, so that's a dumper in that one. And I don't want to mess with these guys too much, but yeah, the depot right there. Yeah, so we roller and another dumper. All right, so in order to get another full-fledged crew, I guess we should just buy a bit more equipment, huh? So let's come back over to here. Not that we... Here we go. So what do we want? I think we want another concrete mixer and another one of the little buses. So let's get a little bus. Find the little bus is better. That's only 7 passengers. Let's get a little orange bus. So they'll have 2 little buses, and they'll have excavator. They don't have a crane. They have open haul dumper. Let's get them another open haul and a crane. We'll get them the big open haul, and we'll get them the best crane possible, tower crane. Ooh, 95 speed. I'm not sure if that's... Here we go. All right, good. And the reason we're getting them all of that, even though they probably will be on a road paving mission to start out, is I would like to build some houses in here, and in anticipation of, you know, we'll need a few more people. I don't know that we don't have people unemployed here to begin with. Why do we have so many question marks? Uh-oh. Let's pause things for a second. What is going on? Oh, geez, Louise. So that whole thing is messed up because, oh, by the way, this caught on fire. I don't know if I ever said anything about this, but because these buses don't have a place to go, that caught on fire and burnt down because we didn't have a firehouse. I think that's one of those, yeah, see, look. So let's send this guy to the depot, and let's send this guy. So that's just completely clogged up the works, huh? To the depot, and it looks like we have one more. This guy. Now that also is telling me that too many of these buses are going to the one platform and not the other, huh? So let's take this guy, send him to the depot. Now, let's take a few of these buses. Where you go? Construction office. It's fine. We'll leave it on that one. What is this called? Energy Disk. What is this called? Energy Disk 2. Okay. All right, so let's take some of these guys. Why not like this one? And we'll send them first to, well, we'll just send them to here. Get rid of that. And then, or is that where he was going? But he's just in a huge traffic jam. You know what? Let's see what happens. It might be just that they can no longer get past the road, right? Let's send some of them to their next stop to see if... Okay, there we go. Wait, never mind. Yeah, good. Yeah, see, some of them just can't get down the street, which is fine. Okay, good. They're not... I didn't make much effort, but... So you need to go to the depot. Actually, maybe I have the opposite problem. More of them going to the other one. Let's set this guy to go to here. There you go. So I don't know if he'll turn around right away. And yeah, that's this guy. Now let's set our construction. Well, the construction doesn't matter too much, but we'll even it out a little bit, I guess. It would be nice to know. Routes would definitely be a nice thing in order to know which buses had which route. The other thing I thought of, what do you guys think of this idea? What if we had a favorites? Like, in other words, if I wanted to keep my eye on this bus, I should be able to have like a little star here. Boom, favorites. And then you could have like a favorites window someplace. And then it would really just have maybe, I don't know, a little bit of very minimal information. And then you could click on like follow this, go look at it, whether it was follow a vehicle or... You know, if you wanted to be able to come in here and look at this house, is because it's where you keep your university students. You could mark it as a favorite, and then it would be up here where you could just go click on certain things to check them out. You know, it'd be easy to take them away and leave them. So sometimes you just might want to keep an eye on what one guy's doing for a minute. Other times you might want to have more permanent ones, like I always want to know what's going on with my depot kind of thing. So what's going on with you? No room in the depot? Okay, well, why don't we send these to dumpers? There's no purpose in them being there. We'll send the dumpers up to here where they're slightly more likely to be used. Yeah, look, we're getting a lot of dumpers. It's because we now have a rail crane. Let's just send them up to this depot so that bus can park. Good. All right, well, what we didn't do for having found that fiasco is build some houses. Now, I was going to build more of these when I laid this out, but let's see if we can't get some of our fancy new housing options going. And I'm not even 100% sure, because I've always just built this one. Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure which ones are new and which ones aren't, but these definitely seem to hold a fair number of people. Let's see, which one holds the most? 189 workers. So I guess we'd spin it around. Yeah, this one, I like this one because it... Yeah, let's see, how does it compare to 3 of these? Like... Well, 3 of those is going to hold 225, and this guy is going to only hold... I mean, it's still a lot of workers. There we go. Why don't we put up 2 of those? Which one was that? If I keep those close, can I get a soccer? Well, I don't really need another sports thing here. But I'll keep them close just for the sake of maybe putting something else in here. There we go. That's a huge number of more workers. Now, I'm not sure what the deal is with all these road stops, but I guess now that they're connected, I don't know, do you really need that many road stops? Oh yeah, you know what, this guy needs, even though we put these houses in, I will work on those on or off an episode, just get these houses built. And Again, I don't think we really need them, but you know, we do have quite a few 508 plus 21s, and that's after putting people in housing over there. So we definitely could use more housing. And like I said, we're going to throw some more workers at this plastic factory, and it's not like we have the maximum in our oil, and you know, this is a pretty massive area for needing workers. I think we're doing okay, other than we need a firehouse and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, let's, while we're over here, why don't we get a footpath? All the footpaths are on the other side, so can we do... There we go. It doesn't look too awful, does it? And so that way they'll certainly be able to get there. So yeah, we'll get a firehouse built. We'll get a fire truck in it. We'll get our bus stop. Now the other thing to say is, you know what? Let's just suspend that construction for a minute, because there is something I'm thinking about. Could we just take these buses and have them drop off directly to the coal mine? In my infinite wisdom. So let's see how many of these. Are they all going to bus stop 2? Now this one's going to 1. Just noting that quite a few of those buses, I think I do like where they're actually at now. So I'm going to just add the stop of, like, you know, I don't know why I was bent on them going to buses, but I think there's some situations that even though you can drop off, yeah, you know what, it was kind of just a complete waste, wasn't it, to have them go into a bus stop. Not unless there's some other reason. Alright, so let's just start. Not that it's going to make a huge difference, but let's start them. When one of them gets there and picks up some passengers, then I'll start the next one. Alright, so we can kind of move on and, well, let's let this guy get up there and then we'll, I don't even know which one he is. He's one of these 2 buses here. How are we doing with people on these bus stops? Oh yeah, small platform. I don't know if they're going to tend to go to one versus the other. We can always point people in the right direction. Now these are getting kind of far from that, and I don't know how many. You know what I'm going to do? Just because it's a little bit closer, let's set these. This guy, oh, not work on construction. Do this. Get your workers from here. I don't think that was an option when we first. So then they won't even get in that traffic jam to go get workers. Alright, is that guy... Is this the guy? Yeah, so there we go. Now that we have them all open, it's just when we see some workers in here, I know it's annoying to have these windows all open, but I'll set the next guy off once this guy, yeah, he's just about in there now. So let's start this guy, and that way they're at least a little bit staggered. So there you go, he has workers, so we'll wait till we see some workers in this one, and in the meantime we'll move on to make sure I think the next thing in the line is our rail construction here. Up 99% finished on the one, but now that they have the 2 projects, let's see if we can't assign. This is Gateway Love, so I think he's going to just keep plowing away working. Yep, we have that crisscross done. Now we can get this done, and that should be the last thing down here, I think. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so they've got 2 assignments. All right, nicely paved road the whole way. Oh, good. They're not going to jam each other up with the slowest train in the world. If you notice, that train's just getting back. And I don't know. You know what? Let's get rid of him. I don't think he cost us that much to sell him. Let's close that. Yeah, you know what, buddy? You're just too slow. And even if it cost us money, you're just annoying me. So this guy's little. Look, this guy we can only build till 1995. I hope we get another one because what year is it? 85. So we're there. So now we have two reasonably fast trains that may jam each other up here as the one comes in. But hopefully this guy gets out far enough. Sort of depends on which track this guy goes out on, but we'll come back to that in a minute. That's the story of my life in the last few episodes, has just been this right here. So to be honest, it's a little bit cheaty, but you could come up here and just cancel, and then you hope you get the right one. Did I? Yes, yeah, the right one. But sometimes it's just when a bunch of them are coming back, you can actually delete the one. If you know this guy is coming back, then you can just delete that road project and he's instantly back there, and then you can reassign it again and he comes right back out quickly. There you go. Sizindem made a comment about the fact that this is menu button. And for those of you who might remember or may not, the town of menu button, or the area of menu button here, just was auto created by the game. So it's just, like I said to him in my comment, it just sort of makes me laugh, the menu button. So it's that substation basically. I forget what I plopped down when it called it menu button, but anyway, if you look, we're getting close to getting into our corn. So I am going to set up another train. Now I think, we're going to have some issues with the construction vehicles here, and I need to get a loop around here, but we'll see if we can't get, I may be jumping the gun, but I'd like to at least get a corn train sitting in here if we could, waiting to be filled, and then maybe even a food train. And because I did something else in between the episodes, and nothing too major, but if you look, we now have this, which is a connection by train to here, and my intention would be to mostly just drop off a lot of food here, but obviously we'll have alcohol and we can still buy a few components out of this area. So keep that in mind. This is when you talk about why there's such a cluster of trucks up there, I always intended to have this. Now there's no reason to bring food down to Revergrad as long as we have this food plant. I'm sure it's doing fine with just producing food for the city of Revergrad. And so this, if we can get distributed out of this warehouse, which is not too far away from here, or of course it's right next to Kamin, I think that we'll be in pretty good shape as far as the food goes, because I don't see any reason why we can't use a couple trucks out of here to get food to Farmings, which is a pretty small town. Oh, it's right below me. It's a pretty small town here. We don't need a ton of food for them. And same thing here. Lumbriska, I really don't ever plan on growing Lumbriska at this point. It's just here to produce us lumber. And how are we doing? Oh, good. We're still making progress. Yeah, we could use another flatbed truck, open haul truck. But for now, we'll just let them keep plugging away ever so slowly. So there you go. So I think what I'll do now is put a cut in the video, and you guys have seen and kind of gotten caught up on most everything I'm doing. There's a little more paving action, and look, our railroad track into our outgoing chemicals is almost done. And our firehouse is done, and our pub is done, which means this guy needs another assignment. You know what, let's get some roads in here real quick. So these should be the high dollar roads. Do we do that or just straight? If I do that, then I have a little bit better chance of getting, like, say, a walkway in here. Like, can I do this and this? Yeah. I know that looks kind of ugly in some ways, but now is that everything connected? Oh, one thing when I was looking over here that we don't have. And maybe we should go for like another, we'll just do like a ring of these. Here, I need to bring this out. Just so I can, what's wrong there? You already have a road there? Oh no, you have a... Oh, we do have a tennis court. That's what I was about to say we were missing. But the tennis court shouldn't block our road like that. That's kind of stupid. Alright, well, we do have a tennis court. So I think what we'll need then to get to the tennis court is going to be a footpath anyhow. So let's... Yeah, see... And now what we can do, I hope... Can we turn that guy out? Yes. Well, let's see. Okay, let's just do that. And I think like that. And then can this guy go like that? There you go. Not the most pretty situation in the world, but it'll give them nice footpaths. And then I guess we'll attach both of these. And it'd be nice to get them down to the pub more efficiently. Can we come past here? I'm going to try to keep it. There we go, yeah. Will this attach? I'll attach it if it can. Nah, that won't attach, but I'm okay with that. So this guy should come. No, let's delete a little tiny bit off of that guy. And you know what? We're going to go right from there. And then the firehouse, of course, they're going to get attached on the other side, huh? Well, they can use the road. Will be a walkway. Maybe we'll do a little walkway action like that. Even though I might end up doing something about that road not attaching. And then I think this is the cinema. There we go. I made that 17 different projects, which I kind of hate to do, but these buildings are attached by a path, and all the roads will be pathy. And I think we can cancel. All right, let's commit to those, and then that'll be enough. And then I'm just going to cancel. I didn't mean to cancel them all. Gosh darn it. See, that's why sometimes I turn things white, even when I. There you go. All right, commit to those. And now there's this guy. I got a lot of stuff open. You know what? And I closed the one window that I kind of needed to keep track of that, huh? That guy work on those two, and this guy can't see with everything. Close that, close that, close that. Yeah, he's got all his stuff up there. He'll be done shortly. So we'll have the other one work on this and this. Now, you know what, just because I'm a knucklehead, let's start that guy. We'll wait a few minutes and then we'll start the last guy. Alright, look, we're done this railroad track, so that means we'll need to assign a new one. And I'll just keep working on this. And that's one of the things I'll do off camera. Oh, look. So he's picked another... I also wish you could... maybe there's Kemsaw unfinished railroad. Oh no, you know what? Look at that. He's got that little tiniest bit, and he had to go all the way back for like 3 more sections of rail, or 3 more railroad ties. Alright, now he'll be done, and then we can assign a new one. See, now this is where when he finishes and doesn't get another job, you can't delete him and then send him back out. But what we can do is we'll assign that one, so he'll start working on that. And I do realize one other thing we're going to need to do here. Let me get rid of the signals. This is something I know I forgot, but this is going to be our incoming track, and any train that comes in, well, yeah, it'll basically, see, they're going to have to be able to come in and out of here, but they're going to, once they get to this point, they're going to have to be able to switch back over to get into the right way, right? So let's see if we can't. Here, I'm going to pause it before that train gets in my way. I want to delete these signals here. And right at this point, I want to make the shortest. No. No, it won't. It won't let me do it. That's what I was afraid of. See, like these trains can't get back out onto the one-way track. They can get in, so we're gonna have to come up with some way. Can they come? What? There you go. So that is kind of ugly as sin. Now this guy, they're gonna need to be able to come out of this guy as well. Is that? That's so ugly. Alright, but now why did you get a question mark on you? You lost your shit, buddy. Your stuff, I'm sorry. I mean to cuss. Let's see what happens if we play. Come on, bring your stuff with you. There you go. Much better. Alright, so that's kind of a mess, isn't it? But just close your eyes and pretend it looks wonderful, or just don't look. That's what I do sometimes in life, you know? My mom is not one that can do that very well, but I can just sometimes close my eyes and pretend everything's okay when it comes to the way something looks. You know, it'll drive her up a wall, not so much me. Okay, which drives her up a wall that I don't even see it after a certain period of time. So let's see, are we still assigned something over here? Fortunately, I don't live with my mom anymore, so it's not an issue, but at least not a big issue. But when I was younger, it was a bit of a problem. Okay, anyhow. All right, well, there we go. We got an ugly solution to a problem, and I do need to, so I don't cause a whole bunch of traffic problems. Let's slap back these signals again, so that every time somebody tries to go through here, someone in here doesn't block them. All right, well, there you go. So we're in good shape, and I think I want to come back, and hopefully when I come back, we'll be darn near ready to at least do a couple trial runs with this. I don't know if this needs to be rebuilt as potentially suggested, then then we'll just have to rebuild it. But for the time being, at least we can try a couple things to make things much more efficient on the food side. Alright, so I will talk to you guys in a few minutes when our construction is going along better. Alright, talk to you then. Okay, the railroad tracks are completed. Well, not completed. We still have plenty of work to do on plenty of railroad tracks. It's a long, slow process, and this is going to be made even longer. But I don't really want to build another rail construction thing just to complete this bit of rail. We'll just keep it going. We won't be able to export anything by rail or pick up our wood quite yet. So we'll see what happens. I'm starting to think that maybe we could build a warehouse here. So we'll see how that goes. And it might have been a good idea, definitely, and we still probably could down the road if we want to improve it, put a warehouse here. But let's just see what happens. Again, we're not going to be making that much food. The 3 trucks are handling it, so I'm sure a train can do as well. As a matter of fact, I want to get 2 trains. So let's go over to our depot. And I don't think they need to be real big trains. Let's see. These warehouses, right now he's holding 128 tons of food. Now, I still would want to leave some room for alcohol. I don't know if we need that much room, but thinking about only 128. Now the other guy is going to be full, so this is over 50%, 450. So maybe we'll get 1 train with 3 cars for corn, and another train with 2 cars would probably be enough. Because I want him to be moving back and forth fairly often. But we can always add more. It's not like he's not going to be going past here every time he drives. So let's take a look at the diesel locomotive so we don't accidentally buy another one. And because there's only going to be a few cars, I think I'd probably just get a nice little small train or 2, right? Now what happens when we buy 2? Can we highlight one of these or no? Okay. Let's go to cargo wagon and meat. No, we don't want meat. Yeah, so I guess it's just the box car. Any other options there? Or, just one of 1 page. Okay. So we could drag that down, I assume. Yes. And we do. Oh wait, is it going to put it on the end of that one? What happened there? There we go. No. Okay. So there's 2 trains. Let's. This is where it would be nice to be able to rename things. All right, so let's close this. We don't need to accidentally buy anything else. And then this one, it's kind of hard to even tell looking at this, like what train it is, right? Okay. All right, well, it looks like it's highlighted there was the top where I'm even going to reopen it, even though I just did it. Yeah. Why doesn't that want to... Yeah, it would be nice if it told you how many cars were connected. Oh, well, I guess it does if you know the math, right? So let's do the bottom one. Come on. Why won't you double click? Yeah, so you could do less crops there. So we'll put this one on the bottom, this one on the top, and then we can close this. And both of them are going to come to here. No, not there. There. And there. And you are the top one that has 3, so you're going to get corn. And yeah, you can wait till you're loaded. Now I'm a little bit curious to see if we just park them there. Do we get corn going through him? Not that I'm too worried about that, but just because it seems like the one truck is keeping up pretty well. So let's focus. Yeah, one truck is keeping up pretty well with the keeping the corn in here. If anything, if you notice, we got the food. The other thing to notice is, and I noticed it through the money while I was sitting there at one point and took a quick look. I don't know if you remember a few episodes ago when I showed you, it was like we were losing money on the dollars, and when we clicked on the Soviet imports, there was a lot of food we were buying. Now it's a little bit, I don't want to say upsetting, but we are at very few times not doing such a good job with our alcohol. It would be kind of nice if there was some more details as to where we purchased it, to be able to figure out, well, was it because we weren't getting enough to this pub, or I guess we could click on each one. Well, that one just has its own truck sitting there all the time, doesn't he? So maybe we'll get him to go to 2 places instead of just sitting at the one. And keep making a loop. Okay, anyway. Alright, so we have trains. Now what we need to do is figure out which one goes to which station. So I want this guy just to come down to here once he's full, the bottom one, with two cars. And you're going to go there, and you're going to unload and wait and just do food. Now we might as well start him, because, hey, why not? Give him a little head start on the other guy so that they're not right up each other's tails. And then this guy, I want to have him come down here and do the same thing with unload and wait, but it's going to be corn, of course. Oh, we have it paused. We don't need to have it paused. I do that when a lot of times I don't play with this, where I turn the recording. Oh, by the way, up there I can see my recording time up there. Sorry about that. I don't always, I don't leave the recording software on all the time, and then when I open up the game and I go, oh, it's not on, let me pause it, and all right, enough of that. Okay, so let's go, and so we didn't actually give this guy a head start. Let's go take a look. Oh, he got out there. He got out there pretty quickly, didn't he? Now, what about this guy? Did I not start him? No. There you go. All right, well, we did give him a head start. All right, and he's on the right side of the tracks. Not that it's going to matter too much if we have a traffic jam of... Yeah, look, see, here comes a construction vehicle. He's probably coming from here. Menu button, unfinished road number 2. This one. Is that him? Yeah. Get him off the track so he doesn't cause a traffic jam. Now, one of the things we could probably do here, this guy's coming back on the right side of the tracks. All right, so let's put up a couple more signals just into here. Oops, that's a road. And I want don't want them to stop too close to the roads if we can avoid it. So for now, and I will make this one way, and I want to put this one a little further away, just so that if a train stops, hopefully they're far from the road. We'll do sort of the opposite here, right? Like if they stop going this way, then hopefully that's far enough. Oops. There. Now, one of the things about just building enough tracks here at these turns, and I think Radomir and a lot of people have made comments about my signaling, and I'd say, well, I do have a strategy, which is, at this moment, I don't see myself ever exporting food. But if we did, I could come in here and I could build tracks. The other thing is I'm finding that every time I have tracks, but I don't have a construction office, quote, in the right place, like I can't really build these tracks because they're not connected to this construction office. So I'm not sure if we should just call in the special space alien instant, invisible construction crew to finish those off or not. So in other words, I don't have a construction office to finish this anyway, and I don't really plan it, certainly not at this moment, of hooking that up. So this should be this guy, and yep, he's getting food. Now, the next thing is we have corn coming in, so we want to try to start intercepting the trucks. Now, this is a truck of corn going to the other place. So I want to intercept him when he gets empty. Now, what are these guys? Okay, this is one of the ones we want to intercept. And as a matter of fact, I want to catch them before they get... I want to stop them from filling up with food, right? So what is this guy? That's the corn one that we need to catch later on. All right, so this guy's taken care of. I can close him for the moment. And there comes another corn one, right, going out. No, this is food to Lumbriska. So this guy's fine. No, oh, he was going up to get fuel, probably. So this guy's fine, because I don't want to stop him, because this food is not going to help Lumbriska, which is right up there. Same thing, there should be a little truck going to Farminski. Yeah, right here. So in other words, I don't want to stop this guy either. And this was the corn one pulling back out. Now this should be, yeah, Gateway Love. Okay, intercept him before he gets there. There we go. Good. So that, I think there was 3 of them, if I'm remembering right. I'll keep my eyes out for more. Yeah, who knows? Who knows where he is? Is this one? That's a corn guy, and he's got corn in him. So we found another one of the corn guys. Gateway Love Food. There we go. So we'll just put all these guys in here for right now. So that should be all of them, I think. I doubt I had... Oh, wait. Gateway Love. Well, 4 of them, maybe. There we go. Spun him around. Well, we have enough covered trucks, don't we? We definitely don't need to buy Gateway Love. Yeah. You know what? Go back to here. We got enough. What are you doing? Energy desk. So here you're fine. So this guy's coming into here to get food. Okay, well that's a bunch of them caught. What about this one? That's a corn one that needs to get emptied first. And then, how about you? Yes, so you are one that needs to get intercepted coming back with corn, which is perfect. Where do we want to do? How about you go there? Good, so we caught a lot of people. Now, there's one other thing. Let me just go along the road here and see. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but a little easier. What are you doing? There's another one, but he has corn in him, but he'll be here in a minute. So we'll hang out down here because it'll be easier to catch these guys. Plus, well, now we got once we see they're empty, here, let me move it so we can see when they're empty on corn over here. And how are we doing here? We got 30 tons of this, and what is going on with this guy? Ah, okay, we got a complete jam up. Let's pause. That's because of you. You know what? We're going to get rid of, hopefully, that guy. Alright, does that free up the jam up? Yeah, I don't really understand why this guy would have been stopped. And what are you doing? Oh, you're just empty going to get more gravel, which is wonderful. Okay, so okay, good. So the problem is he's out of fuel, so I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to need to go back and get more fuel or something. Now this guy, why does he still have crops in him? Is he? Are they told to wait? You know what? Wait down here. Yeah, wait until you're unloaded. I didn't even check that other truck if he was. Yeah, that was this one, right? Yeah. Now, you know what? Go back there and wait. Okay, so he should turn around at some point, I hope. All right. Anyway, one other things that I wanted to do. We got all kinds of windows open, but we're keeping an eye. There we go. This guy's filling up with corn. You know what? I want to go see that first. So now, while he's filling up with corn, you know, like could we just stop him here? There's no real stop order, is there? See, I can't tell whether it's because this guy's there. Anyway, I don't know if I care that much. You can always experiment with that a little bit later. All right, well, good. So it's taken a little while longer, which makes sense, but what is this guy doing? Umbriska. Yeah, it would be nice if I could get... I really do need kind of more parking spaces. There's no way for a truck to go to here, right? No. And more parking spaces would definitely be good. Certainly, attaching warehouses to things. Parking spaces are one of your biggest logistic issues, you know? All right, so now this guy has none. Let's go back down. Good. Okay, so you're going to go to this depot. You are now out of corn. Let's see. How's everybody else doing? Where are you at? Did you just pull in? Yeah. Okay, good. So he'll be empty within the bounds of them producing fabric, which is kind of good because hopefully these trucks can get emptied before that train comes, which he's blazing down the tracks as we speak with no fuel, but hopefully he doesn't run out of fuel on the tracks. I don't know what you would do about that. All right. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to do here was I have been slowly paving. It's not something I've mentioned, but since these guys were kind of done with the radio station, which we do want to also deal with our radio station at some point. I'm not sure what benefit there is, but you know, we don't have any people, so we'd have to get a train stop here, or a bus stop, I mean, to get them down here, which wouldn't be hard to do. Maybe we could just do that part right now. Huh? where is small bus platform? No. Why wouldn't we put the small bus platform here? I don't see any reason. Because it's not real flat. How about a little further away? You know what? How about like this? I don't want to get too close to the tracks, just in case we ever... Let's take a look at the level. Oh, come on. That's... Let me just take a look at this. Yeah, I want to lower that a little bit. Let's use our new... Well, I guess it's not even so new anymore, our leveling tool. Alright, now, a little bus platform, which we can now get quite a bit closer. And let's get a path for them. Ooh, that looks... Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I guess that, well, that's a pretty massive building. I didn't realize there was such a hill there, but it's okay, as long as it all works. Alright, so now, let's get our guy here, wherever he is, come over here, to construct. Let's commit to the paths. Alright, we'll get it. I promise we'll get it. There we go. So we'll get him doing those few things. And let's get rid of this ugly wireframe. And come over. Okay, are more of these guys empty? Yeah, 5.2. And it's a train here. Where did we get jammed up? Oh, we just got filled up with fuel. I can see the fuel going up. This guy's getting ready to go there too, so. Alright, what I wanted to do, and I thought this would be quicker, I didn't mean to get into 8 different things, is I'd like to see if I can't connect this road here up to one of these. Now we have this little stub of a road, and we don't need that little stub of a road for obvious and many reasons. So can I just come in here and delete that? Look, I used the jackhammer, for those of you who've been yelling at me about the other tool. So, and at this point, is there any... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, it seems like I would connect this guy right... No, you won't let me do that. Wait. Oh, here. You know what? Yeah, I kind of want to make it look at least semi-decent. No. No. I saw a little green. Alright, there we go. So that's a little temporary. Well, I don't even know. Maybe we'll make it more permanent. But the reason for that is that if I pave this stretch, I cut off everybody going to the power plant. So, and in particular, like the bus can't get down into here. Well, now at least if I'm paving, they can go around the long way and get in there. They seem smart enough to do that if you give them an option. So, just wanted to show you guys doing that, or show me doing that. All right, how's this guy doing? 0.5. All right, so how is our train doing? Yep, the story of my life. So hopefully I can cancel this guy. The worst is when they're finished a construction project, the rail construction projects, and then you can't cancel them. And see, there's the exact problem. That guy has to be able to come in and out on the wrong way track. So it's another reason that I'm not anxious about getting everything working that well, because now I'll reassign this guy and he'll go out on the right track, but he'll come back on the wrong track, if that makes sense. There we go. So we'll get him back working on that. And then these other construction guys. Okay, this guy's done. Let's go down. Where are you at? Go to there. All right, very good. So now this guy should be sitting there waiting, right? Yep. And crane, so it's almost good that he did get jammed up. There goes our gravel train. should be okay. There comes our other train. There's our food. Oh, our food guy is almost ready to move. He's got 68 out of 69 food, and then he'll go. Now we took away a lot of our food here, huh? Or, you know, like the truck stopped flowing, so it's one of the reasons I didn't want to put too many cars on here, so that I know overall it might be more efficient to have a few more cars. But we'll see. Like I said, we can always add them. But at the same time, like, we might run out of food if this guy didn't get... Actually, he is going with 68 to 69, so let's see how he's making out. Yep, there he goes. He's actually a good chunk of the way there, and he's out of fuel, so... So we'll see how he does. Alright, what else were we doing? We're waiting for this guy to get empty. I was going to do something else, and then I distracted myself with the train. Oh, that's right. Let's reassign these guys to some jobs. So this is getting awful close to done down here, though I think it's kind of a signaling mess. I'm not sure how well that whole thing's going to work out, but... And then we'll send another guy up here to do this. And then we'll keep plugging away at these. There we go. Alright, so he's now busy. So let's use this guy to zap down here. Look at that. Perfect. Alright, a corn train. Now, which one takes priority? Hopefully this guy keeps emptying as well. You are told to wait. Yep, good. Well, at least we know he can make it there, right? And it's probably going to be a while, I would think, before he gets emptied. And again, I don't know if the truck will keep going down. Yeah, I don't see either one's money going down. The truck's still going down, so... And is the train going down? No, the train is not going down, but the truck is, which is actually kind of good, so I'm going to close the train, and then let's go take a look at our other train. Yeah, he's getting fuel. Wonderful. Yeah, so it's really kind of working out pretty nice where I put this. It was a little bit lucky on my part, to be honest, because each train we have so far drives right past it, and they seem patient enough. It's not like the trucks. Like, I haven't really seen them do that stupid get, 9/10 of the way there and then turn around and come back. So that's good. So in other words, we seem to be having no issues with fueling these guys, but again, they all go right past here, so for now that's kind of lucky. I mean, that was really well planned out on my part. I'm so glad I put it there. All right, here comes our food guy. Now, how much food is in here? 44. Yeah, I want to keep an eye. Well, it doesn't really matter. So now we have a couple extra covered haul trucks. We'll have to come up with jobs for them in the future. I'm sure we're going to be expanding things beyond what we have now. It's just been a long slog getting these railroad tracks started, and then once we get our chemicals going and other things, we're going to end up with a situation where we're going to be using a lot of electronic components to turn these tracks into electrified tracks. I'd like to get that done sooner than later, but also wanted to get some more rail trains. Well, of course, trains are on rails. Get the trains going a bit, helping us with not having to have so many trucks going every which way. We still want to get the steel route going. All right, well, there we go. We got that going. So I think I'm going to call it an episode pretty shortly here. How far down is this guy? So this guy's making good progress. At some point, I might get another train in here. I don't think I'm going to do much construction between the episodes. I'll probably, get a few more trains done, or rails done, and then just let's see where things go so I have something to say when I come back. But I think the focus will be getting in here and getting the chemicals going, right? We've finally got our food situation, I think, worked out well enough. Again, I don't think it's perfect, but yeah, see, this is where it's not perfect. We could be producing food right now, but we're not because we don't have a train sitting here, right? So if we had the train sitting there or had a warehouse, we'd still be producing food. So the comment from, I guess, Architect Realities is absolutely 100% right. This is not a very efficient way of doing it, but at least, we're doing something. So I think the thing to do in the future, if we didn't want to tear stuff up here, is to go ahead and build another warehouse down here and a distribution center just for food. But I also want to say, this is, depending on, I know some people are running into size issues on the map, but don't forget we have New Revergrad here, and I've been stuck on this little side of the world, but we have the possibility of many different things. So, while this would probably always be one of the central hubs of our food processing, it doesn't mean we might not end up with a whole bigger food thing over here and make this whole thing better, right? So we'll see how the plans go. How is our... Oh, I closed that truck, didn't I? All right, well, let me go find that food truck or that corn truck before I lose track of them. Anyway, yep, great plans for the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will do a little bit more work on the tracks mostly, like I said. And when chemicals or something's about to happen, I will come back. All right, thank you guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.